Okay, welcome back to the channel. This video, actually this little mini series, is going to be a little bit of a bittersweet experience here for me, and you'll understand what I mean soon enough. So what I'm going to do here is to do a mini series on specifically day trading radio, so Johnny over here. And the reason why, this is not just a drive-by hit piece, the reason why is I actually can't think, unfortunately for him, of a better service to display the idea of what not to do when you're building algorithms or bots. What we'll get to eventually, and this is going to be a multi-video mini-series, no doubt about it. So what we're going to eventually do is get back to my series of videos of different types of trading models and what's wrong with it. So you can see here a worse trading model. So this is number 2 because number 1 in the series was a worse trading model. Moving averages, stochastics, RSIs, other lagging dog shits and pieces of shit. Also trend lines, that type of stuff. So that's worse. That's video 3 of my 3-part series. I like to make real lengthy title names so they just barely fit. So trend lines, Elliott wave, and other sorted bullshit. And sadly for Johnny, I actually can't find a better model of what not to do, a better example of what not to do than what Johnny has done for 20 years. So listen, this video might be a little boring here for you because what I want to do in this video before I get into the meat of it, which is what I'm assuming most people would want to see, is what I want to do in this video. I'm going to try to make it as short as possible. You know how that shit works out. I'm going to give you some street cred on my part of how well I know Johnny. I was there from the start. I know the original people. I know where they went. I took a look back just recently after not paying attention to him for a decade or more, and I just saw today who's still there in the wings. It's kind of funny. It was a throwback. That's why I call it bittersweet. Because here's the thing about day trading radio and a rock star, day trading rock star Johnny. He's a good guy. He means well. But sadly, when I was doing some recent research on him, knowing full well his past, and that's what I want to get into a little bit, I could see he has never in 20 years graduated from grade 1 algorithm or bot is what he calls it, bot trading. So some sort of automated trading process. He's still sitting at grade 1. The stuff that you see now that is current, just take a quick look. We will get into this later. He's got a bunch of bots, quad rotation, super signal quad, because quad wasn't good enough. We had to super signal it. I know what he means. I've looked at it. Thunderbird V2, Bull Flag Extreme 2020, 2020 Bull Flag, but this is the Extreme, so it's better. So let's just run them both. Thunderbird 1 V1, just different parameters on Thunderbird V2. And I guess that's it. And hey, you can get the whole bundle for $50 a month. Seems like it's straight out of the box, plug it in and turn it on and go, right? No, it's not that at all. But yeah, that's for video number 2. Let's just get back to good old Johnny here. So Johnny was one of the OGs of trading rooms when the internet got going, really. Especially his use of the available technology at the time. So like I say, Johnny's a great guy. I believe he probably still lives in Nyack. And his show was social in nature. He did some trading and it was social in nature. So it was a good environment if you like, to be a social butterfly. A lot of different characters in there. So back in the day, it was a really good show. You could just turn this thing on and listen to it in the background if you wanted to. And he always had good music. Because the internet in that time was just sprouting, it had just had its green sprouts coming out of the ground, people were doing a lot of stuff that wasn't technically allowed, playing music over the air. He eventually got into trouble for that because you just can't play music for the entire world. What else was he doing? He still does this today. I don't know how he gets away with it. Because you can't do this. Your data provider will have you sign the forms to get live data. And in there states that, you can't deliver this live data to anyone else or the public at large. And he still does it on his site. I don't know how he gets away with it. I don't care. But I mean, this is that's completely illegal. And it doesn't matter how much money you pay, you're not going to get that ability to do that. So he got in trouble in the growing pains, just people contacting him saying, firms saying you can't do that. So he found ways around it for a while, but they kept on him, and he knew he was going to get into trouble. So he's had to pull back a lot of the stuff that is on his public channel, and it's music and live data feeds, which again, he's still doing. I don't know how it is. Paid for news services he used to put out over the air. Basically in his service, they really got him on him over that. He had to stop that real quick because they would monitor his chat room. All these places, once he got popular enough, would monitor his chat room. And he was basically, paying for his personal version or his personal access, but then he was giving it to the world. So going back, the characters. Now, the main guy, his right-hand man, so this would have been 2008, 2009, plus or minus a year or so, is when he started. So it was actually a very, very fun time in the market. Some of you may remember the GFC. That was fun, exciting times to be a day trader. And this is primarily what he does. He does day trading, although he will give you swing trade lists as well. He still does that as far as I know. But his right-hand man at the time, I believe the guy's name was Ron. I've kind of forgotten his full name, but his screen handle was GTO. So if you knew DTRS from back in the day, you would remember GTO. Johnny, he rolls in a little late. He takes 2-hour lunches, and dead air for 2 hours wasn't all the greatest. And so GTO, a serious trader, probably the most serious trader on the site at the time, and probably forever, had this impression that he was going to get an angle in, get some proceeds. I don't think he was ever going to become a part owner of DTRS, but I think he was assuming he was going to get a greater portion of the pie somehow in compensation for really doing a lot of the work so Johnny could screw off for a couple-hour rock crusher lunch and roll back in. And GTO used to do a lot of live trading. And so he had some sort of system. I don't really know what it was, but he had something that it seemed to me from the outside that at least he was running regularly. Now, he never had any stats on the thing, but again, I'm just speaking to the fact that I was there from the beginning. Now, what happened is there was a lot of people monitoring Johnny's site, and there were people that were running businesses or about to sprout a business, a day trading service, prop firms, stuff like that. And once Johnny kind of made it clear to Ron, GTO, that he wasn't going to get any further, that kind of left a bad taste in GTO's mouth, and he left. One of these scalping firms, or one of these firms in the room scalped him from Johnny, and he left. And he shaved his beard a little bit more, trimmed it up, put on a suit, had to take some courses so he could do this stuff legally, what the firm wanted him to do. And I think he lasted at that firm for 6 months, a year or so. And I don't know, I've just lost track of him. If he's doing anything today, I don't know. And I can't remember his full name or what the firm was. In and about that time, Johnny, he's not a web guy, not a tech guy. So he had to get a lot of help on stuff like that. And in and around that time, there was also another member who is still there. He goes by the handle RPM. His name is Paul. He lives down south somewhere. He's an IT guy. So he really ramped up Johnny's IT work, website, really involved, really crazy stuff. Paul has done a pretty amazing job. And as far as I know, he's still around. I recently just listened in and I heard something about Paul's in the room or something like that. So it's got to be RPM. So I guess he's still there and doing a lot of the web work. Now, funny enough, with RPM, Paul, his wife, this is a longer story as well. Let me just take a step back. Johnny had for a while, I don't know if he still does it, I don't know what it was called. Ultimate Trader Showdown is actually what I think it was called. I'm just trying to rack my brain from 15 to 20 years ago, guys. Ultimate Trader Showdown. So you could volunteer to trade ES Futures, which is what shows up on his public-facing free YouTube page /website where you can get the feed for free, the outside people. It's always the ES. So you would go head to head for an hour or whatever it was, and trade the ES against somebody else. And Paul did that a few times, RPM. And I guess, unbeknownst to us, because none of this stuff you ever see. And honestly, it's great. It's great theater, but it's not what you want to do. It's actually just reinforcing bad behavior. It's just nonsense. And that's really why, part of the reason why I'm doing this mini series on DTRS is because it's just a group of bad ideas all jumbled up with a nice guy and a nice social warm feeling. Okay, that's great, but you want to make money, and there's just too much bad stuff going on here. Always has been from the get-go, and it's no different now. The seriousness that GTO brought, long gone. He was the only guy I ever recall, and I don't know if there's anyone else that was up to at least the serious look of Ron. But in behind the scenes, I guess Paul RPM had done so badly over those years that his wife forbade him for a while, at least, for trading real money. So I think he was compensated for his web work. That was great. But Paul never made any real money, to the point where it was pretty much public knowledge that his wife forbade him from trading. And throughout the years, and this is just getting back to what he offers now. If you go back, and you can go back on Johnny's website, Johnny's YouTube page here, just sort by oldest, and you can see he has had basically these same ideas that he has been putzing with for 20 years. This is why I say he's never gotten out of grade 1 with his algo/bot building. Hopefully you understand. I've got a long history of knowledge of Johnny. I've seen exactly how he works for a long time, and I tuned in for a little bit recently, and it's the same guy. I mean, why would it change? And he's got some polished, updated bots, but they are the same bots, most of them, that he was running 20 years ago. Now, I can see here, he's got them on NinjaTrader. So he has automated trading systems for NinjaTrader and TradingView. So TradingView wasn't really a thing back when we started, but NinjaTrader was. I could do a whole mini series about the worthlessness of NinjaTrader, but just the same. I can see right here. So he's run a strategy on NinjaTrader on this one. I recognize this, and so is this. And this is the type of reconciliation you need to do. So you write a strategy, and then it runs it, and it gives you the stats. So your win-loss, how much you win, how much you lose. This is what you need to do on the regular. The problem is, if you thought that this stuff was a buy it, download the information, click the button, and run it, and it was fully reconciled, and you had statistics out of it, you would be sorely mistaken. All this is all this has ever been, a bunch of poorly designed, ridiculous, half a dozen parameters that you can change on anywhere from 3 to 8 different indicators. Now, go back and watch this video. I'm going to expand upon this later, but go back and watch these videos to understand why that is a bad idea out of the box. And I'm going to give you an idea of just how bad it is in the next round.